All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 10:50. I had a feeling I was going to be able to do this early because I was intending on doing this at 11 o'clock, but the chapter was already up, but I also had breakfast at the exact same time, so I had to prioritize breakfast. Now I can dedicate time to all the manga reactions for today. One Piece, My Hero Academia, and Jujutsu Kaisen. Hold on, yes, these... pardon me. Good morning! So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome to my first reaction to One Piece in the year 2023. Chapter 1071. I can't wait to see what happens in this chapter. Last we left off, so much was happening. Luffy was fighting Lucci, and Gear 5 stayed, and he proved to be, stronger than Lucci, and he got away with Bonnie, Jinbei, and a damaged Atlas as they make their way towards the Labo phase, where the rest of the Vegapunks are, along with the rest of the Straw Hat crew. And Sentomaru is rendered unconscious by Lucci, and in doing so, the CP0 gains control of all of the Seraphim. And as that's going on, Kizaru arrives with a fleet of marine ships. And that's how we end out the year 2022. So, let's go ahead and see what's in today's chapter. Brought to you by Viz. And then we don't get another chapter until January 22nd. Man, we're going on another break. How big is this chapter to give us like another 2-week break? But we get a color cover page, and it has the entire Straw Hat crew, and they're all dressed in red and white. And in this color cover page, all of the Straw Hats are dressed. The women are dressed in white. While Luffy, not all of them, some of them are dressed, some of them are, the crew's just mixed, it is a mixed bag of reds and whites. Jinbei has white on, Robin has white on, Chopper, and Brook, Nami, Luffy, while Sanji, Frankie, Zoro, all predominantly have red on. And in this group color page with the... color cover page with the Straw Hat crew is Uta from One Piece Film Red. Chapter 1071, The Hero Deploys. Yo! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It's Kuma, and he's sailing through the air at high speeds. He's sailing through the air at high speeds, like blinding speeds. Kuma, he pushed himself, and we see him flying through the air. Like, we saw him push himself like 2 chapters ago, and he's flying through the air, and he flies face first into the red line. Like, we see Kuma flying through the air, we see his, covered face with his hat, and then there's an explosion in the middle of the red line. Red port at the base of the red line. Kuma just flew straight into the red line. And then it cuts to citizens going, "It's Bartholomew Kuma!" What? Where did he come from? It's Kuma, the Celestial Dragon's invincible slave! What's he doing here? What is he doing here? Who recently escaped from the land of the gods? What does it mean? And then it cuts to Kuma, who's just laying down covered in blood, but he's still in his regular Kuma clothes. He slowly starts to get up. In the northeast part of the island. Ah! He's moving! Near the Bandola loading area. Former warlord of the sea, Bartholomew Kuma, has appeared. Someone is relaying all this information. Dispatch Marines on the double. All citizens are required to leave the area at once. He is considered dangerous. He is a slave of the celestial dragons and no longer possesses a human will. His current programming directive is unknown. Beware! And it just shows Kuma standing up as he's at the base of the red line. Then we cut to future Island Egghead in the New World. And someone is saying, capture every location Vegapunk might use to escape the island. Yes, sir! Destroy the ships if you must. Yes, sir! And it's Lucci giving all these commands to the Cypher Pole agents. We have control over the Seraphim now. But how long will we drag him? How will we drag him out of there? That frontier dome is a big problem. It packs a stiff punch, says Kaku, because, he flew into it and got blown up. Then Stussy goes, so you don't intend to listen to the Navy, Lucci? I do not view Straw Hat as an emperor. It's funny because Straw Hat just handed yo behind earlier. You don't view him as an emperor. Okay, Lucci. Okay, stop. Okay, keep thinking that your Dark Justice is gonna help you out here. Keep thinking that your Rokushiki is gonna be able to surpass Luffy. Keep thinking that. Come on. I do not view Straw Hat as an emperor. Good grief. Then it cuts to Shaka. The agents are rushing to block the routes off the island. They might completely box us in. I'm sorry if I'm flubbing up my words here. I'm excited about this chapter because we are only on page 6 of 7 out of 20. The agents are rushing to block the routes off the island. They might completely box us in. And the Vega Force 1 can only fly within the island's bounds. An incisive strategy they deployed against us. And then it cuts to Lilith going, we're gonna fight, yeah? We're gonna avenge Atlas. I'm raring to go. And then it cuts to Pythagoras, who's all like, actually, they shouldn't be able to get up here. Because all of the Vegapunk satellites are standing around each other now. We got Edison, York, Atlas, well, not Atlas, but Lilith, Pythagoras, Shaka, and the main Vegapunk. So there's no way to avoid fighting, even in the course of escape. And then it cuts to York, who's just constantly eating, and she's stuffing herself. Like, she's literally stuffed herself to the point where she used to be skinny after she went through her EPS cycle, but now she's big. Now she's really big. Like Chopper Kung Fu Point, but times 10 big. So there's no way to avoid fighting, even in the course of escape. What's up, something fun? Goes York as she's just stuffing her face. And then it cuts to Shaka going, Lilith, don't just run off on some mindless offensive. And then it cuts to Edison going, oh, Eureka! A revolutionary! I had no idea! And then Lilith goes, what? What's so wrong with fighting back against some idiots trying to kill us? And then, it's Shaka going, our goal is not to fight back. It's to ensure the Stella escapes. We are the satellites. If we have to sacrifice us... Oh, wait, let me see. No, that's still Lilith. Our goal is not to fight back. It's to ensure the Stellas escape. We are the satellites. If we have to sacrifice ourselves, it will be well worth it in service of the Stella's safety. And then Vegapunk is going, now. And then Shaka, fighting to satisfy your own whims will only bring us down. Ah, listen to the good little boy arguing what's right. I hate your righteous guts. I'll survive. Oh, poor Sentomaru. This is the thanks you get for being so faithful. I'm sorry. And then Pythagoras. What is the call? Do we have one more ally on the island? And then Edison. No, wait! If we're talking about who I think you are, then taking our side would mean driving out... No, wait! If you're talking about who I think you are, then taking our side would mean being driven out of home and chased by the government! And then it cuts to Vegapunk. Well, you heard the stakes. I request our help out of this mess. And then it cuts to him trying to get in contact on someone. And then Edison, no hesitation at all for his life! And then someone says, of course, I've been waiting for your order. Huh? Who's he talking to? Who's he talking to? Of course, I've been waiting for your order. And then Vegapunk goes, Whoa, we're getting help, folks! Sorry, that's Vegapunk, but he's happy that someone actually answered him.
Woo! We're getting help, folks! As long as CP0 is out of the picture. Escape is honestly a piece of cake. I just mean taking a ride.
Oh, wait. This is Edison. So many of the speech bubbles are right next to each other.
As long as CP0 is out of the picture, escape is honestly a piece of cake. It'll just mean taking a ride with the Straw Hat, Stella.
And then Lilith.
I'll escort you to the port in the Vega Force 1.
And then Shaka. Do that, Lilith. Let's hurry.
I don't take orders from you.
And then Vegapunk again.
Well, folks, I got a request.
And then...
We're ready, so may I request our spot on your ship for 7?
And then Usopp.
7? All of the Vegapunks?
And then Nami goes, ew, no. And then Frankie goes, is Lilith included? Then I'm all for. Oh no, wait, this is Sanji going, is Lilith included? Then I'm all for it. And then Frankie, a voyage with the 7 greatest scientists in the world.
Oh, super!
Oh, sorry, he didn't say that, but inside the lab.
Wait! Stop, Bonnie! Vegapunk! I'll get you for those bugs!
Now she's just mad about the insects. Hey, I promised that old guy I'd help him escape. Don't beat him up. And then it shows Luffy and Chopper trying to chase after Bonnie, who's like her face is just rife with anger. And she's running out to try and find Vegapunk. And then there's a siren going off and Luffy just goes, huh? And then it cuts to the outside.
Labo phase defense system, Frontier Dome deactivated. Frontier Dome deactivated. Frontier Dome deactivated.
Huh?
Why? Who did that? What's the meaning of this? Is someone in the control room?
Says Lilith. No, I don't see anyone on the monitor. And then Lucci goes, what's going on? If that's what if that's what it sounds like, this is our golden opportunity, Lucci. The barrier's down. Someone turned the barrier off. Someone turned the barrier off that kept him from... Someone turned the barrier off. And then Lucci... What is going on? What is going on in this chapter? If that's what it sounds like, this is our golden opportunity, Lucci. The barrier's down. Wait, it could be a trap. Seems a little too convenient for them to be having technical issues. And then Stussy doesn't say anything. And I think she actually took her hat off. She took her hat off. And then it cuts to Lucci and company using Skywalk, Gippo, to go above the Labo phase. See there? Golden opportunity! So at the moment when his life is in the balance, the heavens have forsaken Vegapunk. Is that it?
Do you suppose that's the Straw Hat Pirate ship?
Ooh, and a spiffy robot! No wonder we didn't see their ship below. Let's destroy it now. And then Kaku goes, in a jiffy! Stormleg, Sky Slicer! And it shows Kaku trying to send like a Rankaku at the Thousand Sunny. And then... Oh! We got somebody's... Remember, all of the Straw Hats... All of the Straw Hats are not on the ship. There are still 2 people there. So we got a man snoring on the ship. Then he leans up with 2 very familiar shadows by his side. One would say 3 swords by his side. And he immediately gets up as the slice gets closer and closer to the ship. He unsheaths Enma and with absolute perfect accuracy slices through the Sky Slicer, with Kaku looking confused going, what was that? And it's Zoro. It's Zoro waking up upset going, who dares to disturb my nap? Roronoa! And then it cuts back to Pythagoras. Shaka, the Frontier Dome has been restored, but we let CP0 get inside. Oh, drat. We were too late. They're going after the Straw Hat ship then. Yes, and it would seem that the ship guards are in combat at the moment, as it shows Kaku fighting Zoro. Kaku. It's been a very long time since you fought Zoro. And Zoro is so much stronger now. Oh, I hope Zoro don't take his leg off. Yes, it would seem the ship guards are in combat at the moment. We must hurry to assist before we lose our only means of escape. Then Lilith.
There, you see, I told you we were gonna fight.
And then Sanji is going, huh? Hey, you guys! Luffy! And Nami goes,
Luffy!
huh? We're leaving already? But we just got here. Come on, I want to relax.
Oh, lots of noise outside.
And then Usopp goes,
yeah, I do too, but remember, this is a government island.
And Nami,
and you saw Rob Lucci, didn't you?
And then it cuts to someone, and then it cuts to, I think, Sanji going, but, oh, have you seen Bonnie, a pirate girl with long hair? Or I think this is Luffy going, but, oh, have you seen Bonnie, a pirate girl with long hair? And then it cuts to Robin going, speaking of which, has anyone seen Vegapunk?
Ah! Stop, Bonnie! I'm in a hurry right now, but I promise I'll explain. Would you just let me speak?
Shut up! Can you turn my father back or not? Those are your only two options.
Then, no, I can't. I'm sorry, but there's a good reason.
And then it cuts to a stretch of sea in the New World. A stretch of sea in the New World, and someone goes, whoa, why is that fish so huge? And it's, oh my heart. I saw something. My heart. Oh my goodness. Killer isn't saying anything as Kid is just relaxing. And then Killer says, get up, Kid. We've reached land. Shall we disembark? Shall we? You gotta ask. What island in the world could possibly make us hesitate to? Well, hesitate to? And then Killer says, well, I'm fairly sure this island is the home of the giants. Elbaf. Elbaf. Kid and Killer have arrived at Elbaf.
Kid and Killer have arrived in Elbaf!
Kid, Kid and Killer have arrived in Elbaf! And the chapter's not over. The chapter's not over. The chapter's not over. The chapter's not over. Well, I'm fairly sure this island is the home of the giants. Elbaf. Elbaf? Navy HQ base G14.
You can't do this, Vice Admiral Garp. We're about to set sail for Egghead. Don't undercut our manpower.
Hey, lighten up, button. Lighten up, doll.
This isn't funny, Garp. Also, if you're really going to go pick a fight with an Emperor's Island, I assume you must have permission from higher up?
Huh? Why's that?
How many decades have you been in the Navy?
It's fine, it's fine. I'm already here anyway.
Already where?
Where is Garp? Garp just... Garp just took off on his own. Where is he? No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm already here anyway.
Already where?
Helmeppo, get out here! Is that a pirate? Someone calling out Helmeppo by name? He's gonna kill him! Oh, it's Vice Admiral Garp's ship. Vice Admiral Garp? Oh, thank goodness. It's Kobe. Blackbeard's got Kobe and there's nothing I can do. Oh, quit your weeping, boy. Here's what we'll do. Get on board. We're gonna sail for the pirate island full of lead. Wipe the floor with those pirates and rescue Captain Kobe. And then, what's her face? I forgot her name, but Helmeppo and the girl that really wanted to go, one of the members of SWORD that really wanted to go rescue Kobe, they all start crying and bawling their eyes out as they say, Vice Admiral Garp! Okay, this is a lot of information to process right now, and we're going on a 2-week break. I don't even know how to process all of this. Ogata-san, good morning to you as well, for the first time in 2023. And it's good to see you too, Cohagen. Yeah, I started earlier. I put a post up in the Discord, and I did say in my community post that depending on when the chapter drops, Hibari, thank you, Ogata-san. I did put up that I would start this stream earlier if the chapter released earlier. Okay, so, wow. Garp is not winning against Blackbeard. We know Garp is a strong Marine. He is hero of the Navy, but Blackbeard is the final villain. He can't be defeated. He can't be defeated by Garp. Maybe he will lose, but not die. I mean, DJ, we can't say what's about to happen. We gotta wait 2 weeks to see what's gonna happen in the fight against Blackbeard. If the next page goes over that. I mean, but this is Garp. This is Garp we're talking about. He's not someone to mess with either. Remember, he was just as strong as Roger. Given the fact that he and Roger have been absolute enemies and rivals throughout the entire history of Roger being the Pirate King, how many times they came close to killing each other, Garp is still just as strong as he was back then fighting Roger as he is right now. So I wouldn't count Garp out. Despite Blackbeard pretty much being the final big villain, I feel like he's going to be the final big villain for the story, I wouldn't write off Garp just like instantly losing to Blackbeard, because you never know. I mean, you never know. So I'm not going to write Garp off. But the fact that Garp says like, hey, we're about to head to Island Full of Lead, and we're going to go wipe the floor with all the pirates there and get Kobe back. Now, my thing is, we still don't know the end fight between Law and Blackbeard at all. We still don't know. We still don't know the outcome of Law and Blackbeard's fight. We just saw Blackbeard use Kurozu on Law, and then it just focused on Egghead from then on there. But we have no idea what happened between Law and Blackbeard. So that's going on. Although we don't know how far Full of Lead is from Winter Island, Blackbeard's fighting Law. Maybe Garp is using this opportunity to rescue Kobe. However, Kuzan might be guarding the island. Like, we don't know where every member of the Blackbeard Pirates are. If Garp runs into Kuzan, then this will be the first time they see each other ever since Kuzan left the Navy. And that could be an interesting conversation with him, considering how much of a role model Garp was to Kuzan when he was in the Navy. So that's something to think about. Let's not overlook the fact that Kuma just sent himself flying, like pushed himself flying, and he landed in the Red Line. He just pushed himself all the way to the Red Line where Marijua is. Lucci not recognizing Luffy as an emperor is just funny. Lucci is just salty. He can't land a hit on Luffy. Yeah, I find it funny how he says I don't recognize him as an emperor, yet he wasn't able to land any actual hits on Luffy, and Luffy was barbecuing them Lucci leopard ribs the entire time. So, you know, Lucci just doesn't want to admit that someone is still stronger than him. Someone said that it may be Smoker, the one who helps Vegapunk. I'm thinking about that. But it's someone saying, I've been waiting on your order. So we don't know who this person is. Like, we just came out of a break because of New Year's and Christmas. Like, the last chapter we got of One Piece was on Christmas. And now the first chapter we get in the year 2023 is going on another 2-week break. I'm okay with this. because it lets us think about everything that's happening right now. Like, if I go through all of this, it begins with Kuma slamming headfirst into the red line, and then him standing up as he just looks up at the red line, and then he sees the world government symbol in front of him. Then it cuts to all the satellites getting together. Lilith wants to fight everyone. I believe Atlas is someplace else, possibly getting repaired. And then Vegapunk calls someone to help him and saying, of course, I've been waiting for your order. Vegapunk is getting chased by Bonnie, who's trying to demand that he turn her father back. Zoro clashes with Kaku after 2 years. And my thing is, Kaku has no idea that Zoro is so much stronger than he was when they first faced each other in Enies lobby. I mean, not only has Zoro gained training from the world's greatest swordsman, Mihawk, but recently, after his fight with King, he's gained access and has awakened his Conqueror's Haki. So, and he also knows how to imbue his Conqueror's Haki into his swords. Zoro is a very fast learner. The moment he was fighting King, he awakened his Conquerors. Well, actually, he awakened his Conquerors when he was fighting Kaido, and then he just pretty much learned how to infuse it during his fight with King. Kaku is going up against a Conqueror's Haki user that can use Conqueror Haki emission. So, yeah, I'm praying for Kaku that he comes out with his legs still intact, but they're clashing with one another. So, and the thing is, Brook is nowhere to be seen, because Brook was on the ship with him. So where's Brook? Is Brook just chilling? Is he still asleep? But everyone gets together. Bonnie is chasing after Vegapunk. Kid and his crew have pretty much made it to Elbaf. What if the person with the burn scar is Jaguar D. Saul that they're looking for? But Kid and his crew have made it to Elbaf. Then it cuts to Garp saying, like, we're going to Island Fullerled to rescue Kobe and wipe the floor with those pirates. And it's like, there's just so much to process right now. Fun fact, approximately 500 chapters ago, Luffy fought Garp to rescue Ace. Interesting coincidence. 500 chapters. If Luffy takes Lucci seriously and just use Haki, Lucci is losing easily. He is done. I mean, Luffy was using Haki anyway, because when he used Dawn Whip, his leg turned black when he hit Lucci directly in the face. Luffy using Gear 5 is just for fan service and just for Vegapunk to explain the Devil Fruits? Not really. Because Gear 5 is a pinnacle of Luffy's strength, and he's far stronger than before. Because if it was just for fan service, then why was Lucci saying, like, I'm having a hard time keeping conscious? And where is he getting all the force of these attacks from? Like, how does he have this much force up behind his punches? So, no, it's not just fan service. It is actually his strongest form. It is his strongest gear. So, it's not fan service. It's just that Oda pretty much created Gear 5 to be like a return to the comedic nature of One Piece. Because when it comes to fights, and he said this in one of his posts, like, I wanted Gear 5 to be like I wanted to keep things comedic with Luffy, despite all the serious fights that happens with everyone else. With Luffy and him entering into Gear 5, it brings it back to a more comedic nature. So it's not fan service, it's just ridiculous, which is exactly how the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika was described by even the Gorosei. It's not silly, it's not fan service, it's just ridiculous. Even if Lucci is awakened, Luffy is going to take him with Haki, real observation Haki. I mean, Luffy is capable of handling Lucci without having to rely on everything he learned fighting Kaido, because Lucci is not an opponent that requires him to use Conqueror's Haki emission. Lucci is just someone that Luffy can fight regularly. Let that sink in. Lucci is no longer someone that Luffy has to rely on something that required high levels of Haki in order to use. He could just fight him normally. That's where Lucci is right now. That's his place. He's a normal person to fight now. He's no longer someone that Luffy has to surpass because he has surpassed Kaido. And that's pretty much the biggest rung on the ladder that Luffy had to get past. So Lucci is not someone I would consider on the same level as Kaido for Luffy to have to use Ryuo or use Conquerors. He's not. Even with Lucci awakening his own devil fruit didn't give him an advantage. Let that sink in. Lucci awakening his powers and being even stronger than he was 2 years later still didn't help him against Luffy because Luffy was just toying with him the entire time. Punching into the ground, making the ground punch him back, slingshotting directly into Lucci, smacking Lucci directly in the face with Dawn Whip, just dogging Lucci around. Lucci is not a threat. Therefore, he does not need the techniques that Luffy needed to be someone of Kaido's level. So that's just me. But no, it is definitely not fan service. I'm guessing chapter 1090 will be when Garp arrives on Fullerled, which is 500 chapters exactly from when Dadan criticized Garp for not helping Ace. Ogata-san, I've noticed you have a extremely analytical, and I'm not saying this is bad, but you have such a pinpoint accurate analytical knowledge of how long certain chapters have happened with One Piece. Like, I don't have that knowledge in my head. Like, I'm not on the Tekking level of remembering everything or Rogers-based level of remembering everything, but when it comes to you remembering stuff, you have such a pin-perfect accurate recollection of how many chapters are between this moment and that moment. I don't know how much time you spend with One Piece, but that never would have occurred to me. Clap to you. Good God. Kaku had the nerve to attack Zoro, but I mean, he didn't know Zoro was there. He was sweating. It's funny. Not only that, but he attacked a ship that Zoro was sleeping on. And what is one thing that Zoro hates? When people drink all the booze, when people mess with his swords, and when people mess with his sleep. Kaku pretty much just broke one of those rules, so he's catching the hands. Let's see. Do you think Kuma meant to go to the red line, or that he couldn't throw himself high enough to cross it? He definitely threw Straw Hats to the Four Seas in Sabaody, so he can throw them over the red line. My thing is, I feel like there's a reason why either Kuma hasn't been fully repaired yet, so his aim was maybe his aim was off, or he went to the red line on purpose. Imagine if Kuma went to the red line. Actually, we don't even know why Kuma's doing the things he's doing right now. So I can't assume to know what Kuma's going to do next, because I was thinking maybe he's going back to the Marijois to get revenge on the Celestial Dragons. But since Kuma really doesn't give too much of his own thoughts, because he really doesn't speak all that much when you think about it, it's hard to gauge what Kuma's intentions are right now. Like, there's no way of knowing what he's going to do next in any way. Like, we don't know why he's at the red line right now. Really like that this final saga, all the hype characters that were introduced from the beginning, like Shanks or Dragon, is going to have a big role in this saga. It's like, there's so much stuff happening in this chapter. This is how we start One Piece in the year 2023, with a whole bunch of stuff going on. Wait, where's Caribou? Is he the one messing with the offline? I forgot what it was. Are you talking about wait, where's Caribou? Is he the one messing with the offline? I forgot what it was. Offline what? Are you talking about, is he the one that disabled the barrier to Egghead? We don't know who disabled the barrier, but they were able to get it back up and running. There's just so much happening in this chapter. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I was actually expecting Kizaru to actually show up in the next chapter, because that's still a factor that's outside. That's still a factor that's outside of Egghead right now. All of the Straw Hats are finally all together, except for Zoro and Brook. Brook is nowhere to be seen. Kizaru is still on the outside of Egghead. And Lucci, Stussy, and Kaku are now on the top area of the Labo phase so they can get to Vegapunk and the rest of the satellites. This is an extremely far-fetched theory, but maybe he wants to go underneath the red line above Fishman Island. So many questions and no answers. If that's the case, it'll be extremely difficult for him to do because Devil Fruit users, it would be, if he wanted to go underwater, he would have to coat himself because since he's a Devil Fruit user, going into the water would just render him inert completely, and then he wouldn't be able to do anything. He probably wouldn't even make it to Fishman Island if he just tried to push himself there. So I feel like there's still limitations when it comes to the Pawpaw Fruit. But this whole chapter just leaves even more questions than before. It's a great chapter, but it leaves me with even more questions that all of us are going to have to think about for the next 2 weeks. Matter of fact, let me check. Yeah, it's going to be 2 weeks. And then the next chapter will happen on Sundays again. It only just happened on Friday because of the holidays in Japan. But for the next 2 weeks, we are going to be One Piece-less. At least for a while, because One Piece Odyssey drops next week, so that's something to keep me occupied. Not underwater, but within the red line. That's interesting. But can you be pushed through solid objects, though? Everything can happen in this final saga. It's like we are done with the Yonko saga now. We have no idea what is going to happen next chapter. We can go to Im-sama next chapter, or we'll see Vivi. This is what I've been saying ever since we finished Wano. We have absolutely no heading. We have absolutely no heading as to where the next saga or where the next story or where the next arc of One Piece is going to go. And we've been that way since 2018, 17? It's been a long time, ever since the events of Punk Hazard, where Law wanted to team up with Straw Hat in order to bring down Doflamingo that could help them bring down Kaido. And then the events of Punk Hazard also led into Wano and everything in Dressrosa and everything in between, Whole Cake Island, which led to the events of Wano and the end goal of bringing down Kaido and freeing the Wano country from Orochi and Kaido. That's done. For several, I want to say, actually, you know what? Hold on. Punk Hazard. How long ago was Punk Hazard? How long ago was the Punk Hazard arc? Because that's where we had our last formal heading. In the manga, 2012. (2012) 2012 to 2013, but 2012 was the last time we got an official heading as to where the story was going to go for One Piece. We had some semblance of an idea where the end goal was. It's been 10 years since then. 10 years since then. 10 years of us knowing where the end goal and eventual endpoint would possibly be. But now that we're here, we have no idea what to expect. We have no idea where we're going to go. I mean, we know where Kid and Killer are going to go because they've arrived at Elbaf, the fabled land of the giants. A place so shrouded in mystery that the only information we got about Elbaf is stories and Big Mom's childhood. But that was back when she was 3 years old. That was back Elbaf. The last time we saw Elbaf was like 60 years in the past. That's how long it's been since we saw Elbaf. 60 years in the past. So we don't know what Elbaf is like now. We don't know who's the new leader of Elbaf because they lost one of the elders to Big Mom. We don't know if they know anything about what's going on in the world outside of the Ohara incident, but that was back when, Robin was a child and Jaguar D. Saul was messing around. I mean, we don't know where Jaguar D. Saul is. Elbaf is an island that's shrouded in as much mystery as Laugh Tale, because Elbaf has popped up so much in conversation, and everyone is wondering, is Elbaf our next location? Are we going to Elbaf? Are we going to the land of the giants? It's such a place shrouded in mystery, and yet people want to go there, that it's like, interesting. It's becoming more evident that Kaido and Big Mom were the last people holding the reins to the balance of the world, and now that they're gone, the world is in utter chaos. That's the thing. There's been a balance. Okay, I'm not going to take too long because I still got to do My Hero Academia and my Jujutsu Kaisen reactions. But there's always been 3 powers in the world of One Piece before the events of the Reverie. The world government, the Yonko, and the warlords. The big 3 powerhouses, the big 3 balances of power in the world of One Piece. The world government and their navy with their admirals. Then we had the Yonko, all 4 at the time. All 4 at the time, big, powerful pirates that kept other pirates in check. And then the warlords, who were employed by the world government to keep other pirates in check as well. 3 great powers in the world. Now, those balances in power have shifted massively. We got Kaido and Big Mom who are out of the picture, status still unknown. We don't know if they're dead or not. Though, I mean, if you can survive a ginormous underwater volcanic explosion, then you're basically a god. But we have no idea. But Big Mom and Kaido are gone. Their influence on the world itself was monumental. Kaido, who had his crew of, artificial zone users and incredibly powerful ancient zone users, one of the strongest pirate crews in the world. Then we have Big Mom with her entire nation filled with her own children and people who want to stay in that nation. And she had like push and pull over the underground in different places, from assassinations to kidnappings, anything you could imagine, Big Mom had her hand in. Those 2 are now gone. Doflamingo had a part to play in the status of the world because he was basically like an underworld broker that supplied weapons from the entire country of Dressrosa to people he changed into toys with Sugar's devil fruit power. And he helped with the balance of the world because he supplied things to Kaido as well. It's just like every facet of balance of power in the world has been changed because of the Straw Hats' influence and because of the Worst Generation's influence. Now we got Buggy and Luffy, who are part of the new emperors now, along with Blackbeard and Shanks. Shanks is out there saying, I think it's time for us to go claim the One Piece now. Blackbeard is out there hunting down Kid, Law, and Luffy to see if they have the pieces of the Roa Poneglyph so he can get his hands on it so he can find out where Laugh Tale is. Also, still hunting down other Devil Fruit users to take their powers and give to his own crewmates, who now all have Devil Fruit powers now, save for, Lafitte and San Juan Wolf, since they already had Devil Fruit powers before then. Buggy, dealing with the fact that Crocodile and Mihawk have him basically at their mercy, but they're just using him as a front man so they can operate however they want to, but Buggy just takes all the publicity. Luffy and his crew are dealing with Vegapunk wanting to join them and take them off of Egghead. We got the world government dealing with the fact that the one devil fruit that they couldn't get their hands on is now in the hands of a pirate that they pretty much wanted to get rid of quickly, but they couldn't. And now the world knows about Luffy's Gear 5 existence and possibly the existence of Nika. So it's just everything that has happened due to Punk Hazard onwards has fundamentally shaken the entire world to a point of no return. Just think about all the major events that happened from Punk Hazard all the way up until now. It's just like, little pieces hit into like very fragile glass along a very definite point. But glass can only stand so many holes being punched into it before it starts to just crumble apart. All these events that have been happening in One Piece have led to the point where the world can no longer go back to the way it was. The world government can't continue to operate as it has before. They can't rely on the same people that they have before. Pirates can't operate the same way as they have before because the world has fundamentally changed. beyond anything worthy of repairing. That's how far we are in One Piece right now. We are at the point of no return to the way things used to be. It's just crazy how much 10 years can do, at least for us, can do for us changing our views of the story. And not that much time has passed in those 10 years in the story itself. I would say like a couple of months, maybe. Months have passed for the events of One Piece. Whereas we have been seeing the story unfold over years. Now we know the islands after Wano. Northeast is Winter Island, east is Elbaf, and southeast is Egghead. So far, Kid got really lucky and chose the safest place. Either fight Blackbeard, Kizaru and CP0, or go to Elbaf. If there's a cover story on the newspaper after Wano, I hope we get Doflamingo's reaction with maniacal laughter saying, "I told you!" I mean, Doflamingo was right. Doflamingo was right. The world was going to change. His whole speech about how the world is not ready for what's to come while he was imprisoned in Impel Down. I mean, he was right. Doflamingo was right. We are at that point right now where the world can't go back to the way it was. But overall, let me not keep you here any longer than I already have. I gotta get ready for My Hero Academia and then Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I'm gonna keep grinding on Midnight Sun so that way we can pick it up tomorrow so I can finally, progress through the story even more. Expect some people to be a lot more powerful than they were before because I've been playing it a lot. But fantastic chapter. I enjoyed it. I honestly feel like with Egghead, there is so much more. There's so much more stuff happening in this Egghead arc that's packed with knowledge and things that we need to think about than any other saga or any other arc that we've interacted with. Even back in Mocktown almost 20 years ago, we was warning about this. Great chapter. Yes, it is. He was warning about this. It's crazy. It's crazy how far One Piece has come to the point where, I mean, all of us wait with bated breath about what Oda is about to show us. And to think, this is the first of many chapters for the year 2023. Egghead is like Sabaody and Zou combined with lore and fights. It is. It really is. There's so many fights going on. But there's also, I wouldn't say there's so many fights, but there's so much exposition and so much lore, and yet at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's just packing every chapter with exposition to the point where it's like, okay, can you stop talking now? That's the beauty of it. At least that's how it feels to me. It doesn't feel like Oda is just packing way too much into these chapters where it's all like, this is a bit much. I haven't had a feeling that Oda is overstuffing these chapters with information that we all can't process. It seems to be the right amount of a lot without it actually feeling like a lot. That's how I feel about it. 10 out of 10 chapter. The fact that we got the name of Elbaf just dropped for Kid and Killer. Kid and Killer lucked out. They really did. Ogata-san, you're right. They really lucked out. Because they pretty much just went to Elbaf, and I can't say they're out of danger because we don't know how the Giants are now. And the red-haired pirates still want to pick a fight with him. Kid better pray he don't run into Shanks. Yeah, but Kid is in trouble if Shanks and his crew are there. It seems Lime Juice wanted to fight him. Yeah, Oda is not rushing, but the pacing is fast. But not fast to the point where it's like, Oda, you need to slow down. He's going at a consistent pace, which is good because we need to get to the meat of the matter every time he does a chapter. But overall, I enjoyed this entire chapter. We're going on break for 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all won't see another One Piece reaction until the 22nd of January. By that time, I'll probably be playing a lot of One Piece Odyssey, and then a couple of days after the next chapter of One Piece, I'll be playing Forspoken as well. I got a lot of things lined up for the channel outside of manga reaction, so I hope you guys enjoy anything that I do here. So it's really up to y'all. It's really up to y'all. I got a whole bunch of things lined up, so enjoy at your leisure. But I'm going to end it here, ladies and gentlemen, because I got to get started with My Hero, and then Jujutsu, and then I got other things I need to do in the house for my parents' anniversary tomorrow. So it's a big, busy day. So all I can say at the end of the morning is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.